I'm just going to do a walk around here. 68 Camaro SS Tribute car, and it's got a 383 stroker, 2-speed automatic. Runs great. It's in really clean condition, but you'll see some imperfections in the paint. You know, some things that if you wanted, we can certainly always have repainted and taken care of, or here's an opportunity for you to own a classic 68 at a reasonable price and decide what you want to do with it in the future. It's always a beautiful combination, black with the red interior. A nice newer dual exhaust on it. Bought it from a elderly gentleman a few years back. Plans were to keep this one, since I always regret selling my 68 RS convertible years ago. But as always, things have changed. Time to let her go. So he had indicated to me it was an older restoration. Wasn't sure if it was a real SS or not, but going through, looking at the numbers, and without having documentation, and really they don't indicate on 67 or 68 a VIN for an SS car anyway, it's a Tribute. But as you can see, it's got actual Chevrolet rally wheels, so they aren't an aftermarket. Good radial BFGs on it. You know, there is a little bit of rust you can see in there, in the surface rust, that is, in the wheel itself. You know, so to get it perfect, probably do a bit of a powder coat on them, seal them up for good. And as we walk around, I do an undercarriage so you can see that, but the floor pans were replaced. These quarters were replaced as well on both sides, so all new sheet metal. You can see there's no rear running lights. A lot of people are covering those up now. These were never cut in. It's SS badged from the emblems to the cap on the rear. But as we walk around and look, you can see here a little ding or a chip with the paint coming off. On this rear quarter, you can see here some cracking occurring in the paint, which is a shame, because otherwise the body's really straight, paint's nice, doesn't have overspray. So I thought about looking at having the hood, the roof, and the trunk lid painted, and then these can be touched up. I just didn't want to touch them up beforehand, make anybody think, you know, that that's rust underneath there or something, but clearly someone had rubbed up against something. The stripe is underneath the paint, clear coated, so it was done right. He mentioned to me that this in the hood was from pushing down too hard, cracked the paint, but it is an actual all metal cal induction hood, so it's not a fiberglass one, which, as you know, can be a challenge to warping and everything else. And looking down that side is clean and straight, but again, you can see some scratching on here. A little bit right here. And then as we look up on the roof, not sure what this was, but somebody did some sort of a repair on there, and you can see a little bit of blistering here, here across the rooftop. You know, this quarter looks good and clean. And then as we get around to the trunk lid, see a little bit of splitting here in the paint as well. as we take a look inside. You know, hard to say if this is original interior or not. You know, the cardboard door cards, a little bit of warpage there. Seats are good, no damage. Carpet's nice, clean. The back seat and door panels. That rear deck where the speakers are, see, that's faded and old. Looks to be original to me, but I could always be wrong. As we get onto the console here, little crack right there on the door. Dash pad's clean. There's no cracking up on the dash. All the glass is good. Headliner is good and clean. It's got an aftermarket classic stereo, Bluetooth with a speaker. But you can see the speakers up front are missing the grills. I'll go around to the driver's side too for you here. Front grill's clean. Turn signals work, brakes work, speedometer is very accurate. Gas gauge works. Aftermarket Bosch, temp, oil, pressure. Water temp. All fully functioning, lighting up. Show you this side here. You got some wear on the driver's seat. A little bit of discoloration here. Oil pressure is really good on it. Voltmeter as well, I didn't mention. Oil pressure sits around 60 psi. Manual choke does function. She fires right up, sounds really good. Parking brakes functioning. Gone through the brakes, replaced the master cylinder. While I was in there, did the inner and outer wheel bearings as well. And so all the braking systems working good. I'll make sure I do a driving video so you can see it underway. I'll do a cold start video as well, but just so you can hear it. Not quite warmed up yet, sitting at about 150, but you can see oil pressure right at 50. Rev it up, gets to about 70. Got a really good sound. Exhaust exits behind the tires. And it is duals with headers. So let me know if you'd like to see anything more close up. But we'll get a cold start as well as a driving video so you can take a look at everything. Thank you.